Hello? Does this thing work? This is the Peak Boredom Podcast.
Wait, after three or on three?
After three.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hi,
Hey.
hi everybody.
What's up?
Welcome back to the Peak Boredom Podcast. Today we have Lauren's friends who are twins
Yeah, they're
for a
That's
more
right.
twin.
casual episode. So we're gonna start talking about what it's like growing up as twins, I guess. Just for those who are not watching but just listening, they're not identical twins.
Yeah, they're fraternal.
Fraternal.
Turn.
Fraternal. We're Friday twins. Friday twins.
Okay. And we know we know both of them from our same school. And today we just want to bust some twin myths, and talk about their lives as a twin and as themselves.
I think we'll start with what were your guys' perceptions of each other growing up? Did that change? Because I know I really hated my sisters growing up. I fought with Grace almost every day. I guarantee you, I will start a fight with her every single day. And now, yeah.
But
And
then now you're like pretty close.
oh yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
because we had two younger siblings and we realized, the attention is for them. So we just started ganging up
Yeah.
on them.
Can't relate,
Yeah,
only
sure.
child. So
You were
tell me.
gonna start?
I think I could relate with Miss Charles actually. Like I think we fought quite a bit actually when we were growing up, and then it was like
Yeah.
pretty uncomfortable, and then it was like we fought a lot, and I mean I like to think that we grew out of it, and then now like I think we're pretty close, right, Hugo?
No, that's not true, guys.
No!
It's not true at all. No, just kidding. Of course. Yeah, I can agree with Hubert. So when we were small, we fought quite a lot over very like minor things. I remember one time our mom was like asking us to like wash our hands before we started eating, right? And so she was like, okay, the first person that reaches the sink will get a prize or something like that. And we actually ran, and I pushed my brother. We pushed Hubert, and he I think you twisted your ankle or broke like some part of your foot, I think. But that was that's the only fight I remember actually. But yeah, we would fight over like smallest of things, like our first and foremost like attention from our parents mostly, and then like
The
I don't
TV
know
remote.
if TV remote, if Hubert
Back when
gets
Netflix
something,
wasn't
but
a thing.
yeah, if he gets a present but I get nothing, I'll scream like, oh, favoritism or whatever. So that was our childhood growing up. But yeah, definitely I think going back to the question, my impression of Hubert growing up, I always knew that he was the smarter one between the both of us. I think he was just the more logical one. And then like whenever I remember Hubert liked to fix things. So whenever we have something broken, like I would always ask him. Like if I used to do a lot of Lego, and if I couldn't, I was stuck on the step, I would consult Hubert and ask him to help me, things like that.
Wow,
And then
at the
yeah,
young
growing
age.
up,
That's so
growing up, yeah, we've been getting closer to each other, especially during quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
My
you guys-
perception on Hugo. Sorry,
No.
Michelle?
Go on.
Oh, okay. I'll probably go on first. So my perception of Hugo, I think like he was definitely like really really naughty, like up until like from grade 1 up until like grade 8, grade 9.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if Grace was there, but yeah, I think Grace actually like knows like on the transformation, like, and then grade 10 he was like, grade 10 was his big year. Like he got like top student, and then like everything changed.
When the Fire Nation attacked.
The Fire Nation attacked.
What Fire Nation attacks? What are you talking about?
Like, Avatar. You watch it too,
Avatar.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
the Fire Nation. Okay.
That.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a really naughty kid back then.
Yeah.
Hubert was the good kid and I was a naughty kid, but
Yeah.
now our roles have reversed.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a naughty
kind
kid
of
and
reversed
I'm the
now.
good kid.
Yeah.
So
that's
Hubert was still
no,
good.
it's just an internal joke between us. But I was really naughty. Now I'm okay. Hubert was okay back then. Now he's really naughty now. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Like we kind of diverge, but then like at the end of the day, we kind of like converge to the same like principle or character or something like that. Like there's some elements that I feel like we both can relate somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see your twin more as? Are you more protective of your twin, or do you see them more as rivals?
So that I think that changed. Like
Yeah.
growing up, it was like more of rivalry, but then now it's like
Yeah.
more protective, right? now.
Yeah. Definitely. I think when we were small, like once again, we were competing with each other in terms of like mostly getting or seeking the affection of our parents or like their attention or whatever. But I think it started in high school when we took the IB together, and we can go on to this later on, but like we took quite different courses. He was like more physics and math, and I was more like humanities, and so like we would help each other out. I still remember that, because he's good in one thing and I'm better at another thing, and then we would just find ways to like help each other out. And that was when we realized that there's no point in competing. We're siblings, right? we shouldn't compete. And then now it's the very same mindset of being more protective than competitive.
Do you feel like your parents might have unconsciously pitted you against each other? Because even with my siblings, we're not twins or triplets or whatever, but we have felt like a rivalry, mostly because of relatives. This is like normal with every family, right? You get compared to your siblings, you get compared to your cousins all the time over the most insignificant things like your height, your grades.
Yeah.
How long your hair is.
Yeah.
I think that's just girls though.
Right.
Okay, so my dad never like my dad never like it's kind of like a mom thing to like to think about grades or like all those like height or like grades. It's kind of a mom thing. Like my dad like doesn't really like it's not really his affair. But yeah, like my mom, she doesn't like explicitly like compare us two, but then like I feel like, of course, like with any human being, it's like more implicit.
Yeah. I think one thing I really appreciated from our mom and our parents is that there wasn't really a sense of pit us against each other or make us like compare us on different things like grades or like height or whatever. Because I think there was the understanding that each kid is different. Like this was just like something my parents really believed in. That's each kid is different, has their own ways of development and has their own paths, and it isn't really useful to sort of compare us with each other. But it is something that I think we had to take an active part in trying to help our parents understand, because I agree that it is like a big part of Asian culture, and usually I think it takes the kids to like slowly talk to their parents and say, like it's not healthy to compare us with each other. Like there's no point in doing that. But I agree, it's a culture thing, but thankfully our parents were really open-minded and wanted to do what was best for us.
What's interesting though is how our friends compare each other. Like do you ever feel that?
Actually,
like
talk
I
about
think
that.
our friends like actually I feel like they were much more vicious than our parents actually. I think like they had like much higher standards. Like
I think it's for like twins in general, because before I moved to Esperha, I had a friend who was twin, but they're fraternal.
Fraternal.
Okay.
Fraternal.
Yeah, they're twins and not the same. So they're like very different, and then they're girls, right? And then especially
Yeah.
girls, they're always looked on the physical, so they look very drastically different, and then they will get compared a lot. Like, so the prettier twin will get like a lot of guys and will get a lot of friends, and she's very popular. And even though she's not very, I don't know, like I heard that she's not too bright, but even teachers favor her over like her twin. And like she would be picked for like school photo and everything. But then like her twin, who's, I think she's brighter, I think she's really good at math or something. I'm not sure, because I'm not in the same class as her. But she doesn't have friends, and she's just not popular. I think she only has like 1 or 2 friends like that. So I think for twins, they get compared by people outside the family more. I would say like the public in general. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I think that's partly of the media's fault. Not fault, but like previously, I think more than ever, the twins are like really compared to. Even if they're like fraternal twins, they're always like, oh yeah, but your brother's like this, or your twin brother's like that. I think just recently in media, because I watch a lot of cartoons, they like don't do that anymore. I just wonder, what's your experience with like being compared and like not really feeling it?
How do you cope with it?
In middle school, I had also a fraternal twin in my class, and you wouldn't even know they were like twins unless they say it to me. So they didn't get compared a lot. But in my grade 9, I had an identical twin in my class, and he always says that, oh, if you see another guy that looks like me, it's not me, because he has the same hair as him, so you would never know which one is which. They get compared a lot, but it didn't really bother them, I think, because they just had their own talents and their own set of friends. But it was pretty brutal at the start, I heard.
I think I could start. So I think the experience of twins, it's similar to the experience of siblings, as you mentioned out, but it might be more amplified in that sense. Like people compare us more, right, than like just say ordinary siblings, just because we're in the same position in life. We're the same age. We've probably gone through the same initial experiences. Then there's an expectation that will be. I think you're right on that saying that the media has a lot of play in this, because in terms of when you look at media portrayal of twins, like the first set of twins that I can think of is like the twins in The Shining, or like the twins in Harry Potter, right? Who's it? George
and Fred.
George and Fred Weasley, right? And they're in the media. For identical twins are quite commonly portrayed, but fraternal twins aren't. And I think people don't realize that there's like 2 types of twins, right? But there's an expectation that twins will be the same person, will have the same personality, which I guess could put some pressure on like some twins. But and I think in our experience, I think we always understood that. I mean, we were fraternal twins, but even if we were identical, I think there's a combination of like our parents just trying to make us understand that like we're still 2 different individuals with like 2 different personalities and talents and weaknesses and whatnot. So it never really occurred to me that I was being compared to Hubert, or Hubert was being compared to me. I don't know, Hubert, you want to add on?
Yeah. I saw that Michelle Obama documentary, and the interviewer asked her like, how do you feel like empowered like throughout your life? And then she was like, oh, I actually never felt like I was anything less than like what society thought of me. And then she was like, it's because like my parents like always made me feel included. Like they always wanted to hear what I think, what I thought, what like my interests were, and all of that. I think that even if you don't have your parents around to like remind you that, like it's always important to like always remind you that like you have your own like thoughts and you have your own experiences, and like it really doesn't matter too much what people think of you right now, because like I feel like if you just stay true to like what you believe in, like I think that there shouldn't be any problem with like and you shouldn't like take into like what other people think of the other person too much too hard as well.
Like
I
your
think
teachers, like your
growing up,
teachers pernah kayak your teachers, did they
growing
ever?
up,
I mean,
yeah,
if
I mean like
If your
Wait, away from
siblings
Mars's
are-
connection to stable.
I was gonna say, for example, my dad always talks about how the teachers is comparing him with his sister because his sister was smarter, objectively, but he was also smart. So like, I think going back, how were teachers comparing you, if ever? On top of parents, I guess. I think teacher is more viciously for siblings because they're like, I guess, the authority figure other than your parents, and their influence is quite influential. No.
You mean tangible?
Yeah, ever thought of that?
I think in SPA it's like kind of it's not really that that much of a problem, because like first of all they like split us up, so like teachers didn't really have to, but I think like in their coffee chats, I mean I think they do, like at the end of the day, like compare me with I mean
but I think
with any
I was really thankful that like SPA didn't really like it was quite common for teachers to compare students probably in like their lunchrooms or whatever, but I think publicly they wouldn't do that. Like they don't post lists, right? Like rankings and stuff, which I really appreciated. And like usually there's not a lot of comparisons.
Those
like,
national schools like post like first place, second place, all the way until like 70th place. Like I'm glad like SPA didn't do that.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, in Indonesia, there's a lot of schools that
there's a lot of comparing.
There's a lot of schools
they put it on the
board.
like school board, and then like for people to see. I mean, if they just put the first place, then it's okay, first, second, third, but like not to the bottom.
But what if your twin is first and you're second? That's still comparing. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think my aunt once asked me what ranking I was in school, and I did not know what she was talking about.
Yeah, same.
I used to have ranks in like my previous school.
Yeah, so they'll rank everyone in the grade based on how well they did in the exam, which is such a toxic way of encouraging your students to study. If anything, it shames them.
Yeah.
How did being twins affect your college applications, or if it did at all? And
Hugo disappeared.
Hugo
dipped.
Hi, welcome back to the Peak Boredom Podcast.
I'll just repeat the question then.
Yeah, go for it.
Seeing that you guys are quite close as twins, did it affect your college applications at all?
Yeah.
So you go ahead first.
Yeah, sure. So we as I mentioned, we had quite different interests. So I was more interested in like the humanities and also like politics. But Hubert is more interested in like physics and engineering. So we were initially like thinking of different sets of schools to begin with that suited our interests more. But we also received like some advice. I think it was through some friends or like just searching online, that actually universities, it's actually discouraged for twins to apply to the same university, because at least in the States, there's been some instances where like usually twins would either both get it or not, because twins usually have a very similar profile, and if they like that one person, they'll probably also accept the other twin. And also, since they want to look good for like publicity wise and stuff like that. But then if it's rare that one of us would make it and one of us doesn't. And also because I should mention that like universities really like it when, especially US universities, they like it when siblings attend the same school, like families attend the same school because of like alumni reasons, right? But I think that's even amplified during if you're a twin, I think. So I don't know if that advice was true or not, but like I think we just set our sights on different schools and we didn't have the same dream school, if I had to say. Yeah.
So like you were asking like how people like compared me and Hugo. Like I think that was like pretty much amplified like even during college apps. Like I remember December, Hugo already went to Penn, and then the elephant in the room was like, oh, what's gonna happen to Hubert, right? And then like everybody was like expecting like I would also deliver the same results. Yeah, and then everybody thought like, oh, I must be like having immense pressure like during January, February when I was like applying to the other schools. Yeah, but like, at the end of the day, like even if I didn't go into my dream school, like I would still be happy, right? Like doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Which schools do you guys go to again? So Hugo, you go to University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And Hubert is?
I go to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore.
That's a very big school name.
Yeah.
Cannot
really grateful,
smart people.
Yeah, one of them is an Ivy League, and the other one is one of the best medical schools in the world, right? So you guys made it.
I think, even then, I think university still isn't really like I think we've all realized that it's not the most important thing in the world as we thought during application season. But like even if we weren't in an ideal situation, I think we would still like understand that it's not like it's still not healthy to compare, right? And like it's everyone has different paths. Like I would very much support my brother wherever he ends up, right? And it doesn't have to like start ideally in the university applications. So but yeah, it was we're very thankful that it all ended up quite well. Yeah.
But what was it like being away from each other? Because I'm guessing you guys were stuck in the same house. For what, 18 years? Were you even in the same room?
Yeah. So
yeah, even like normal siblings. Like me and my sister, we sleep in the same room. So yeah.
When we were kids, I think up until like the latter stages of like primary school, so maybe like grade 5, grade 6, I think or even before then, we slept in the same room. Like when we were very small, we even like shared the same bed, right? So yeah, it's very true that we were always side by side with each other, like literally in the same place every single hour. Like whether it's at home, if I have a lesson, usually Hubert goes to that lesson too, right? We're in the same school. We were in the same schools and stuff. But I think when we moved to college, at least from my side, I didn't really feel any sort of like separation anxiety. I actually like look forward to it. I think Hubert, we talked about this somewhat. So like as twins, we always grew up in the same environment, right? Like we were always side by side with each other. It was really rare that we would get separated. We were never separated. But then I think going to college, we sort of accepted the fact that like at least I didn't feel any separation anxiety. I was just interested to see how we would react under like new circumstances, new environments, without us being there with each other. But I think there was always a feeling that like if anything happened, like my brother is reachable, right? Like he doesn't have to be beside me for me to know that like I can rely on him on anything. And also it helps that like Baltimore and Philly were actually only like 1.5 hours away. So Hubert comes to visit quite a lot. He visits because of the other Indonesians. Actually, he has a lot of Indonesian close friends. He doesn't visit because of me. And he doesn't stay over at
Anyways.
my place also too. But I've never visited him in Hopkins. So I need to do that. But yeah.
What was the exact question again?
Yeah, how about you? Like, do you feel any separation anxiety like when your brother is taken away? No.
Oh, I see.
Like, is separated from you.
Probably
Like when you're separated.
Not really. I think the main reason is because like we were like in our own bubbles, like in our own unis with our own friends and our own like life. I don't think there was like separation anxiety too much.
Yeah. I think it really taught me about like the meaning of like family or like close friends, right? Like it became really clear to me that you don't have to be physically with someone to feel that like you're supported by them, whether that's your parents or friends, close friends that you really rely upon. It's really an emotional connection, which like I didn't really understand growing up, but like now I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting question. What is the worst insult you guys have ever thrown at each other?
Can be the second worst.
You were gonna start?
You can throw insults at each other now. Like, we're fine with that.
Yeah.
Brand fight.
Please censor your swearing. I still need to get a job.
I think I would like I think
honestly like
I guess yeah. Go
All
ahead.
of them are nasty burns.
Honestly, like insults wise, like I insult like other people more than my brother. Like when like because like we when we didn't get along like when we were young, and when we were young, like I didn't understand how to burn people like verbally. So like I haven't learned that.
So you just punch
and then,
him.
like,
So you're just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you like the worst thing that I probably thought of like harming Hugo. Like I was like I took like some plastic sleeves and then I tried to make him like slip. Yeah, that was it.
What did he do?
When was this?
Oh.
Evil.
You were so mad. You were so mad. I remember you were so mad. You were like, yeah. It was back in our first house in Lipo when we first moved to Lipo.
We're not trying to pin twins against each other. This is not the time. I'm kidding.
I tease Hubert like almost every day. I think now
Really?
I tease him more than he teases me, and it's like of course friendly, right? But like
Yeah.
I think personally that's how I bond with people. Like I always burn with my close friends or tease them, and then they would tease me. But Hubert's quite good about it. I think one example, he has quite a terrible posture in golf. Like this morning we were golfing.
Really? Why didn't you tell me?
So yeah, it's like an old man. It's like an old man golfing. And like he's crazy about foreign exchange trading right now, forex trading, and he wants to get like crazy rich out of that. So I tease him quite a lot about that too, because whoever he meets, he would like pitch his idea about the forex investment. I don't know why, but I tease him about that too.
What about prank? What's the worst you've done to each other?
Yeah,
Because I've done this
Prank.
I was
Pranks.
terrible as a child. Like I would prank all my younger siblings.
you have 3.
Yeah, I have 3 little sisters. Okay, Not this
3.
one. For Grace, I think I tried to put those candies that have like really really strong mint in the center, like mint oil of some sort. I would pour it into her drink.
Oh wow.
Or another really classic one, I tried to feed wasabi to my younger sister, tricking her into thinking that it was green tea.
Oh yeah.
I did that for my mom.
We did those
Sorry,
two.
Mom.
We did those two. Yeah.
My mom took it away before like she actually did anything, but still.
My mom actually tried it. Me and my dad laughed.
For me, because my younger sister, what's the worst thing I've ever done to her? Oh, she used to be so scared of. No, she's still scared of ghosts. So because I have really long hair, like my hair used to be down to my waist, so I would at night, I would like turn off all the lights and then I would flip my hair forward, and then when she's going out of the shower, like still butt naked, I would just stand there, and she would freak out, and she would stay in the bathroom. I think that's the worst.
Wow.
Then she would cry. Yeah. Good times. I still want to do that actually, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe when I go back to Indonesia.
Oh my gosh.
I show her this podcast so she would know too.
Oh, she no matter how many times I've done it to her, she still doesn't know that. She still never expects me doing it. Like I've shown all my tricks, she still falls for it. So
like I get scared easily. My roommate just comes to get a knife and I just scream like the top of my lungs. You can't do that.
So in primary school, we were always late to go to school, and that was always Hubert's fault. Like objectively, I would wait like 15 minutes before 7 a.m. right? But Hubert would always wake up at like 6:55 and take a 2-minute shower and then rush to the car.
Why do you guys need a car? You guys live next. Well, not really. You guys live so near to the school.
That's because our parents didn't let us bike. But that's another story.
Yeah,
but I would
and without a car, you can go there in 1 minute.
Right.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
It always be, Mas, ngembut ya, Mas. Ngembut. Even though it's like
faster.
so close. Yeah.
I mean you
But,
were always like
anyways,
1 minute
oh,
almost late to homeroom. Like because we
Yeah,
had
right.
homeroom for 2 years. He's always like before the bell, and then Hugo shows up.
yeah. Yeah,
Hugo
yeah. That's true.
Always.
I think my sister says the same thing. She says said she was in class with Hubert, and she said every time Hubert would just come in. Sorry, guys.
Hubert and Hugo, yeah. Because like grade 10, me and Grace, we were like in the same homeroom with Hubert, and that happened like 1 minute before the bell. Hubert will show up, and then grade 11 and 12, me and Grace were in the same homeroom with Hugo, and the same thing happened.
yeah. Like I would always, like I would just straight up barge into Hubert's room and like shout at him to wake up. I'd be like, "Yo, Bert, wake up!" Until today, like actually this morning before we went golfing, I tried waking Hubert up, right? But he was so shocked. He was like, oh my god. He was like, what are you? And till this day, he gets like so mad. But like I always had to wake him up whenever we had something in the morning. But I think that's the worst thing I've done to him. It's not that bad, I guess.
Waking your sibling up is the worst thing.
That's the worst thing.
You need to
shouting at him and moving his body aggressively. Yeah.
That's not the worst thing. You should experiment with more.
Experiment.
Horrible. You should I don't know.
Like pranks.
Show yourself.
I can give you a list of stuff you can try.
I really don't insult my brother. Like I don't think so. Objectively no. Like I only insult people like that I really really don't like, and I also keep that to a minimum.
Yeah.
But
Nice,
Lauren knows. Like I think Lauren knows. Like my roasts are like pretty deep.
Oh yeah.
I can go like all the way.
So speaking of insults and pranks, we've heard that twins fight more aggressively than normal siblings. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like for me and my sister, I think the worst fight. We don't physically fight. It's just like verbal fights. Whoever shouts the loudest wins. And then until my mom stops both of us. And I don't know about Lele with 4 sisters. How do you fight?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
For me, the age gap is big enough that I think if I fought with my two younger siblings, it's called bullying. So Grace and I are 2 years apart. But then me and the third and the fourth one, they're about 6 and 7 years apart. So I'm it counts as bullying if I'm doing it to them. They take advantage of the fact that they're younger than me and they know that they're the favorite. They would pretend to cry, and it's so obvious to us that it's a fake cry. But because I'm the eldest, even if I'm not in the same room, I can hear my grandpa yell like, Michelle! And I'm like, what did I do?
How about you guys? How aggressive do you guys fight?
No, the thing is, I've heard that with normal siblings, when they fight, yeah, people from the outside, they look at it as, oh, they're siblings fighting.
Yeah.
But when twins fight, people can get actually really scared that like a physical altercation. Whatever. Fight.
Yeah.
English gone. English gone.
Altercation. A physical altercation will occur.
We would.
Because
Yeah, we would fight quite.
I think we
physically.
would fight
I remember.
aggressively. Yeah.
I think we would throw punches and stuff. And when we were kids.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you remember? Not to the head, but like to the body and stuff. I remember like we would fight. We would fight a lot in the car. And then our driver, who's the same driver today, he would always be like, "Hey, jangan ya, Hubert, nanti saya laporin ke polisi ya." And he would be like, he'd stop in front of the police station.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I will report to the police. That's kind of mean, though.
Yeah. But
hilarious.
it was quite aggressive, but I don't know. I kind of forgot about it. It was a long time ago.
I guess that's because you get compared. I guess maybe more by your friends, because like they've never seen twins, right?
They've never seen twins. So sad.
Yeah, like in real life.
But as younger kids, probably.
In real life, when you hear the word twin,
I'm surprised you mentioned that there's no.
When you hear the word twin for the first time, and they're like, as someone who doesn't have twin, they're like, oh my god, they're the same. Let's like trigger them, not trigger them, blah, but like, they're like noticing stuff that like you as twins already know and like are not bothered by it, but like they're like, did you ever have to like dismantle that thought by your friends?
Yeah, I think quite a lot. And I think for friends, it was quite easy for them to tell that like we're different people. But as you mentioned, for people that weren't really close to us or maybe haven't encountered twins before, especially parents, I think they would always think that like we were the same. But I think Hubert and I, we were just too different that it was quite obvious. It's quite obvious, like within the first time of meeting us, that we're obviously very, very different, with different personalities, different interests.
I mean, I guess we could just show everyone that you guys are pretty different. But you know, some people still think that even if they're not physically the same, twins might be like personality-wise the same. So we'll just go through just a list of things and maybe you tell us. So like, for example, I say, what's your favorite color? You guys can mention your favorite color. It's probably different. So we'll start that with that favorite color. Should we go Hubert first and Hugo?
Yeah, sure.
So I would say blue.
Yay!
I'd say green.
Green.
Merapi green.
Similar. Yay, Merapi!
Favorite food?
It changes so many times.
I think that's
like
hard
right
when you're
now.
Asian. Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah, right.
Like
okay.
Like you can't live without that food.
You'll eat it forever.
Yeah,
this is an easy answer, Bert. Easy answer for you.
But right now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not feeling it right now.
The telepathy is happening.
Oh my god, they're contacting each other.
So yeah, my like all-time favorite food is like just pepper lunch. But then like right now, Yeah. But then right now, like I eat it like almost like so much like going in. Like I remember I was like in Beijing, and then like I haven't been to Asia for like 4 or 5 months, and the first thing I ordered was like pepper lunch in like Beijing. Like that's how much I like it. But like yeah, right now I'm craving like the pasta bar in Baltimore and also the Korean barbecue there. Like those two things. It's pretty good.
Valid.
Ah.
What about you, Hugo?
I would just say sushi. I love like
Sushi?
raw fish.
Oh my gosh.
So good. But it's so bad right now. My parents won't let me.
Yeah.
It's a
Raw
relation.
fish and poke. Poke is pretty good with raw fish.
Yeah, poke
It's so
is-
good. Yeah. Like,
Okay, pet peeve.
Pet
Hubert,
peeves.
go first.
Oh, Hugo has a lot.
We have all the time you need.
yeah. It's okay. It's
Pet
okay.
peeve.
Just go through.
Honestly,
You
I'm
can
pretty
explain
gracious.
and
Pretty-
give examples too. It's okay.
Aduh, ini bukan math, ini bukan geography test. Explain.
Pet peeve.
Yeah, explain, examine your.
So you see, like this, it's like pretty hard for me because like if I say, oh, like I hate it when people are late to meetings. Like it's
You're
it's hard
late
because
always.
like yeah, I always I'm the one that's late, you know. So it's like really,
I hate when
So
people
maybe-
are late. Plot twist me. When I.
Is that it? Pet peeve?
I don't know. Let me like probably Hugo can go first. Probably need.
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Go,
Hugo has a
Hugo.
lot. I know Hugo
Yeah.
has a lot.
Did you just open a list?
No. For me, people who are entitled, people who are
Oh.
late.
Those
That's
are
true.
some.
People, right? People who are entitled.
What do you
right?
mean
It's
by
annoying.
entitled?
Like who has a sense that like other people owe them something,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
That like other people are meant to serve them. I think I just really find that so annoying.
Same.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you give me some ideas.
Oh, we'll keep going, Hugo. You're on a roll.
Aduh, apa ya? I know I have more than this. Shoot, what can't I think of? Hubert knows, cause like, yeah.
If you know each
You-
other's pet
Hubert, you
peeves,
wanna go
that's
first?
fine.
Yeah, entitled, late, and then
So like
yeah.
right now I'm like teaching. I mean I just finished teaching like a bunch of students, and I think my pet peeve is when like in online meetings when like they just like purposely like take 1 or 2 minutes to answer, or like when they don't finish their task properly
Oh,
because yeah, and make excuses. So I think excuses is one of them.
like
Yeah.
unclear excuses, unnecessary excuses.
Didn't you do that a lot in high school though, Bert?
I think I did, yeah. Yeah.
as a TA, I feel that too. Especially those emails when they're like, I cannot come, sorry. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I think
didn't
Grace actually
experience.
told me. I think Grace actually told me once that Hubert kind of exploded because someone in his group didn't do their work or something.
Oh yeah, that kid. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
was that?
Is this uni?
Grade 7.
Oh,
Grade 7.
who did this to
Yeah.
Hubert? I demand answers.
He shall not be named
Maybe
because he
if-
won one extra podcast listener, and it might just be him.
Dislike.
Just like it was like grade 7 art, and then he was like, actually it goes back to Hugo's point about entitlement. Like he feel yeah. And honestly, like with the post, like I won't name him, but then like
Yeah,
with
no,
the post
don't.
he's posting like on Instagram nowadays, like it's still so clear there that like it's just he feels entitled, and then he doesn't feel like doing the work that he like. Yeah, and then it was
That's right.
it was so frustrating. It was bad times.
That's
Oh.
right. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Going
Hypocrites
forward-
also. Hypocritical
Hypocrites.
people. Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like-
never mind. We're going further.
like people who like criticize others and like are mindful of other people's business, but like don't realize that they themselves are also imperfect as well and probably do the same mistakes. I think I really don't like those people.
You think
Music style.
Music styles like where we diverge from most, I feel, because like Hugo's
Yeah.
into like EDM and I'm actually into like classical piano, classical
Oh
guitar.
yeah.
Yeah. Lauren
Spot on.
knows, yeah.
Spot on.
I'm into
That's weird.
classical EDM. That sounds weird, but it's a thing.
There is classical EDM.
EDM. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, where they
Yeah.
put like they remix Mozart's stuff and
Yeah.
all. So yeah, there's like classical EDM. Yeah, and then you guys like play instruments, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you guys play?
Hugo, yeah. So right now it's I'm picking up violin again. It's a
Oh,
recent
yeah.
thing. And Hugo's
Yeah.
like no instrument right now, I think.
Yeah, just like also some context. So like
It's
our
supposed to be
parents are in the
drums,
music-
but he has
yeah. So some context. Our parents are in the music industry. Like music has always been a
Yeah,
big part of us
style-wise.
growing up, right? Yeah. And but then like my dad, who started his business, like he can't play any music instruments. So he was really hoping that his kids, and my mom can't play too. So he was really hoping that his kids could play, and so I guess there was the added pressure on top of like being an Asian parent. There was that pressure to just so that we would appear like like the parent handle a music store. It's kind of expected that the kid also plays a music instrument. But
that's true.
Hubert was a good kid and he followed through. He's really good in violin even right now. I tried picking up the cello and drums, but it was never really my thing. I enjoyed sports way much more than music, and like that was just where I felt more happy, so I pursued that more. But for Hubert, it's a bit different.
Okay, favorite sport.
Yeah. Honestly, like
sport.
I love. Oh, should I go first?
Yeah.
You go first.
I watch all types of sport except for hockey. Actually, sorry, Grace. But yeah, I watch.
she's
But yeah, I watch a lot. Like I watch soccer, American football. I recently got into F1. Like volleyball, rugby, boxing, UFC. So like almost every sport. My favorite sport would probably be like basketball. Yeah.
Who do you support?
No,
The Sixers.
We're not outing him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm
But you guys, the Raptors are much better. Raptors are much better.
Yeah,
than
but
us.
we lost.
Kind of
I'm gonna go on tangent. Okay, next. Favorite? Wait, you haven't. What's your favorite sport?
But
Well, I think it's golf right now. Golf and soccer.
Hey.
you know, musicians cannot play extreme sports.
I mean,
Really?
is basketball extreme?
No, like I don't know why. Like from since I was little, I'm like forbidden to play basketball because the impact, and then like you might break your fingers and all because like you're hitting your hand.
I think it'll make you a better pianist though. Like if you break your
Same.
fingers.
No, it's not. The thing is,
Oh,
I'm a biologist, right? So growing up, I had to play piano to train my eye-hand control, and I wanted to pick up kickboxing when I was in uni, but then my parents said that it does not sound like a good idea considering my whole career is in literally my hands. So I had to drop out of kickboxing.
Yeah, volleyball and basketball is bye.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
cannot.
Because we can't travel. What's your favorite country to go on holiday?
Or dream destination works as well.
Yeah.
Right now it's Istanbul. I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
In
You go?
Turkey,
For me, it'd be the Nordic countries, Sweden. I'd pick.
Sweden.
Yeah.
Sweden again.
It's so
Yeah.
nice.
I love
Sweden
Sweden.
again.
I love Sweden.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds like that's about the time that we have right now. Thank you so much, Hugo and Hubert, for popping in.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
No problem.
debunking
Love doing
twin
this.
myths and all.
Thank you.
Thank you
Hopefully
guys
we
for
can
sharing
drop
it.
some myths and share a bit about what it feels like to be a twin. Although it's like pretty much like any other sibling relationship, I think. At the end of the day, but it's still cool to like claim that you're twins or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright,
Thanks,
thank you.
everyone.
Bye. Nice talking to you.
Bye.
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 Yellow, hi! Thank you for listening to the Peak Boredom Podcast. This is Mars and Inga signing off, and don't forget to tune in next week. Please? Bye!